I'm in Salad and I saw Silence. It is directed by Martin Scorsese, and this is a request by one of my patrons. If you want to submit a request, go to patreon.com/ASEpresents. I didn't know what this movie was at all. I was like, oh, Martin Scorsese film? I've heard of that name. I don't recall watching that many movies by him. I'm very excited to see what this was. And then I look, and it's like, oh, this is 2 hours and 40 minutes. Wow, that's a long time. But you know what? I started watching the film. I was like, I'm gonna have an open brain. My brain's gonna be big. It's gonna be open. And this movie starts. You get to see these kind of like a flashback to Japan, and you got a bunch of priests, and they're trying to convert all these priests. Try to just share the gospel of the Christianity. And you got a bunch of people. The people don't really like that. They don't really like that. They are like, nope, and they torture a bunch of the priests that came over to spread Christianity. And it's like a sad sight. It's not good. A lot of people get tortured. It's not fun. Of course. There's one guy that will be important later that also has to like give up his faith because he's like, oh, I want to live. I'd rather live than die for Jesus Christ. But you know what? Flash forward a few years later, you get to see these two pastors. One of them is Adam Driver, and I saw Adam Driver as like, oh hey, that's a familiar face. That's cool. I like Adam Driver. I'm excited to see what this movie's all about. And then you also get to see just these two priests rather, wrong denomination. They're going to be like, hey, we heard the news of the guy that important guy. Oh, by the way, he trained us to be priests, and so did a really important thing. Such as, convert us? That's very important, and now he's like denouncing it. We gotta go and see what is up with his situation. And it's sad because they get there and they're pretty much immediately like talking to some of the villagers, some of the villages around. You got people who are hiding who they are. They're hiding that they are Christian, obviously. And so you got a bunch of priests that are like, oh, Padre. They call him Padre. Padre, come. He needs to be prayed for. He needs to be healed. Stuff like that. But it's not like anything like super open, really. They're mostly driven on the ground, which is like, oh, this is a very terrifying sight. I wouldn't want to be. I just wouldn't want to be in this environment, especially as a Christian. It doesn't seem like it's very conducive to positive experiences. Oh boy. But yeah, priests. They're praying. They do keep praying, but then you get a bunch of, I'm gonna say they're Japanese guards, but I don't know what they're guarding. They're guarding the law of only one religion allowed. I guess that's what they're guarding. And they're like, hey, we're gonna take all these villagers and we're gonna kill them all. Because they're hidden Christians, not allowed. Nope, nothing. Of course, I just love, their ability to get away, just to like go on to the next place, because it's like, wow, you've really got the Lord power and everything on your side if you're just able to do this pretty easily. Wow, I cannot believe it. That's pretty crazy, man. But anyway, I really enjoyed a lot of the scenes were very ambient, and they were mostly consisting of, oh, you gotta just chill in the environment. They're walking through the environment, or they're like talking. There's a lot of dialogue scenes. Most of the middle, like it's a lot of travel. I should also mention that one of the priests, they do separate because it's like change in ideals. Everything is just like an ultimate test in faith, pretty much. It's like, hey, are you going to submit to the torture and just no longer praise Jesus because Jesus isn't here for you? Because he's not literally here right now. Or are you going to not, and we're going to have to execute you and meet your maker in the sense? Because it's not a fun situation going on in Japan in this movie. So yeah, you get the priests separate, priests talking to each other, priests talking to everyone that they meet, they encounter. You get a bunch of people who are like, oh, please assist. He's like, oh, I can't. And he gets into more like scenes where he has to like go run off and go hide again, or there's a point where he does like get captured though, and he does get himself tortured like pretty badly, but he does meet his master there. It's a nice sweet scene. It's the master. He's like, oh, I did this because I was tortured for way too long, and like I still secretly praise Jesus. I just denounced him like just in public, but I still pray to him every night. And also I forget to mention there's one of the methods to torturing the Christians is to hang them upside down. One of the methods to torturing the Christians is to hang them upside down, and then have some sort of incision on the back of their neck, hole, and then bam, water, blood spills out, and it's a pretty fun sight. Of course, they're in moaning in pain because you got a bunch of these it's so I feel really bad for everyone. I feel bad for literally everyone involved. And you got the guy who's like one of the priests who didn't drown, by the way. I didn't catch up with what happened to the other priest. The other priest gets like captured, and then in order to test this will of his strength of his faith, he's like, hey, well, by they I mean the guys, the Japanese guards. They're like, hey, you we're gonna drop all these people. They're covered in like this. It's like it's heavy. It does not allow a human to float, so they drown. And one of the priests also drowns. And he just kind of has to see it, and it tortures him, and he's just like down in the trenches, all of this stuff that's happening, and it's pretty bad. But he eventually, he's like, is this selfish? Is it selfish for me to just I know, I believe in you, God. Like, okay, I understand that you're there. There's nothing that's gonna make me stop. And the fact if I keep saying no, more people are just going to get hurt. Is this selfish of me to just keep saying yes? And one of the like ways to denounce the faith or whatever, it's just like you have to step on like a stone of Jesus. And so when he's about to step on the stone, he sees Jesus. Jesus is like, oh, yeah, you can do it. You can do it, bro. You got this. And so he steps on it, and then he lives a nice, normal life with his Japanese wife. And he lives out his life. And he's secretly teaching Christianity. It's really sweet. I'm like, wow, I really like the guy. It sucks that the other priest guy is dead, but you know, I like this ending. It's nice, beautiful. But you know, this guy eventually dies, and that's how the movie ends. This is an intense movie. The pacing is very slow, but you kind of have to be engaged with it the entire time, or else you're gonna miss some things. And I do enjoy a lot of the dialogue and the acting, and also just like, oh, there's bad happening now. This isn't good at all. I wouldn't want this to occur normally at any time during my life. Please spare me. Oh boy. These are really brave souls. These are such brave souls. I love these brave souls. So I gotta give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. If you like that content and more content at patreon.com/ASEpresents, $3 a month, daily vlogs plus some extended mint salad sauce. Also $20 a month, one movie review per 1 month. Patreon.com/ASEpresents. All other links to support me are in the link tree down below. On Fansly, I talk to anyone who DMs me. I'm open to all DMs. I'm responding to all DMs there. So go to fansly.com/itsmintsalad. Until next time, I'm Mint Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.